Let's make this super cute photo frame together. So today we are making this adorable picture frame for my mom for her birthday. It's going to be from my kids, so it's going to be saying world's best grandma. But what's awesome about this frame is it would be awesome for really anybody who likes flowers and teddy bears. You can change the different captions to whatever works for your gifting opportunity. So I'll show you a little bit of what it looks like while it is laser engraving and cutting, but just a precursor to that, the way that I started this project is by having my daughter paint the wood. So I let her just go crazy. She got to use like 8 or so colors, and my only parameter was that I needed her to make sure she covered that whole half of the board with paint. So anytime there was any like wood showing, like, okay, get this spot, to get all of that wood covered. Once the paint was 100% dry, I was able to put on some paper masking over the top, and now I am laser engraving. So I've got it in my glow forge, and it is currently in the engraving process. I will let you guys have a peek at that, and I will show you how it turns out once we get to the masking off. So you can see the masking paper is over the top of my wood. You can kind of see the different colors through there. And currently we are working on the engrave. You can see my inscription here is to the world's best grandma from my kiddos. Getting some of those leaf engravings, getting into the floral engravings. I'm so excited to see how this turns out. I'll come back when we are just about done. Here's some of the progress. You can see some of the masking comes up a bit as the laser does its engraving, but so far it's looking great. So I've got some of the masking off already, but some of these smaller parts take a little bit more attention. One thing that I highly recommend if you have lots of tiny things of masking to remove is with more masking. Use this to kind of put it across those small pieces and it'll pick them right up. Second set of cuts, I've got a bear. That's the only engraved piece that I didn't go ahead and paint first. I really am loving how this turned out. So you can see I've got the pieces that were loose in the middle, including the bear, are as like a second dimension onto the picture frame. I love the way that my daughter's painting turned out. I think the only thing that I might do differently in the future is maybe I will keep the separate pieces maybe to the side more so that they get, or maybe use like some different colors on that section, just because they were in the middle here, so some of the colors kind of blend in a little. So like this one especially is a little bit hard to see. It's a little bit muddled with the background, but I think once this is all put together and assembled and cleaned up, I think it's going to look really nice. So this is the only thing I have left to paint, but let's go ahead and look at how the assembly works. So this is of course the front. This isn't glued together yet, so I'm just going to set these down over to this side. But if we flip this over, we'll grab our first piece that attaches, and that is going to be this piece here that has a larger opening in the middle. And the reason for that is because the next piece, the last piece that we need to cut, is a piece of acrylic, a clear acrylic that's going to fit into this spot here. So we'll go ahead and get that clear acrylic cut, and that'll go in next. And then the final piece that goes in is this one here, this one other wood piece, so that's going to hold the acrylic in place. And then it's also going to be where you place the picture. So this particular picture frame has a 5x7 space, and when it is fully assembled, this piece goes here, and then I'll have some sliding brackets that go on the top and bottom to hold this piece in place. The final piece is this. I went ahead and made this a painted piece as well. It's just going to sit right here, and then I'm going to use some hinges to attach it, and then a ribbon so that it can't go out super far. So that is the assembly process, and all that's left now is sanding these pieces and cutting the acrylic and getting it all put together. Okay, so here we have it. Just to go over a little bit of what I did to finish this up, I wound up gluing all of those loose pieces into their places, and then I added the paint to the bear. For assembly, I made a decision change. I decided to add a living hinge to this back piece rather than using actual hardware, and I also decided not to use the photo brackets for the back as well, because I realized that the way that this is designed works really well without hardware. So this is a great design because you won't have to buy anything extra for it. It's just the wood and the acrylic. So in terms of the assembly, we have the front frame, of course, is that first layer. In the middle, we have that piece of wood that perfectly matches up with the acrylic. So as you're gluing the pieces together, you can test and make sure that you're getting the proper order here. So it's front frame. The middle of the sandwich is the piece that fits the acrylic into it. The acrylic goes inside of that. And then the back frame piece goes on, which fits the back picture slot. With the living frame, or sorry, the living hinge rather, it just cuts little lines into the already existing photo stand. And what's nice is this gives just the perfect amount of bend, so it's not going to fall backwards, but you just have to gently pull it back, and it's the perfect tension to be able to stand the picture up nicely. I just went ahead and added these scrap circles here just to the bottom corners, and then when you want to take the picture out, all you do is simply lift this up, pull it out, and then you can sit the picture in here. The picture sits right up against the acrylic. And again, to put this back, we just set that right into the circles, push it in. It has a nice snug fit, and then we will turn it over. Obviously, the back can fall out, but if you hold it at the top and then pull this out to set it back, it actually works really, really well. So here we have it open with the photo stand, and as long as it's not in a place where it's going to get moved a lot, you really don't need the hardware. But if you wanted to, you could get some of the little swinging brackets that you can get for photo frames, and just some very, very, very small screws. You can also even print the bracket pieces. I've done that for other pictures before, but I couldn't find my hardware, so I didn't bother with it. But overall, very, very happy with how this frame turned out. I use this type of Gorilla Glue, super glue, for all of my assembly. You could certainly use wood glue, but I like how fast super glue dries. So if you choose to make this photo frame, let me know how it turned out, and if you're looking for one of your own, feel free to shoot me a message or go ahead and place your order on my website.